Welcome back. Once again, it is your friend, your host, Arachnid Soul, coming to you today with something a little bit different. Before we get into that, please do me a massive favor, smash that thumbs up and subscribe if you are not. We continue to progress along the road to 1,000 subscribers, less than 10 away right now, boys and girls. But let's get into it. Let's talk about my Halloween tradition. This is something that I started a couple of years ago because Halloween is people's favorite holiday, yet I kind of ignore it. Past the age of trick-or-treating and getting all the candy, I've kind of given up. It's lost its luster to me, and then we had COVID and the Halloween parties kind of stopped, so I had to come up with something else. And what I decided was, as a guy who absolutely loves the art of cinema, I love films, I love movies, what better way to celebrate than to watch some great horror movies, both from the current year as well as all of the backlist of amazing horror movies that I've heard people talk about and admire and gush about for years and years. So what I do, sometime in September every year towards the end of the month, I do extensive research online to figure out which are the best horror movies that have come out in that year. It's not an easy task. Things are subjective. It's art. People have their opinions, but I narrow it down to some type of consensus. And I then also think about, well, I haven't seen that movie from 1984, and I haven't seen that movie from 1968, and we mix them up, and then we have the process of figuring out which streaming service has each of these different movies. You've got to go to 15 different streaming services, but I get it done. And I also don't announce the movies that I'm going to watch until I've watched them. I never tell anybody because I don't want reviews, I don't want spoilers. And then what I've started doing this year is I've started going on to Letterboxd, which is a movie review site, just the best movie review site for movie buffs. Free to sign up. If you don't have a Letterboxd account, go make one. This video is not sponsored by them. I've never done any type of sponsorship on this channel. I just tell you about awesome things that I find. Or you could just, use a notepad if you want to and jot it down there. But I do have a list of movies for this year, but let's talk about the list from last year. I'm not going to go in and review all of these movies, but I can see last year I watched The Happening, I watched a movie called Unfriended, I watched a movie called 1BR, I watched Friday the 13th from 2009. I had never seen any of these movies, by the way. I watched 28 Days Later. I had previously, years ago, seen 28 Weeks Later. There was a movie called The Ritual. I also watched A Nightmare on Elm Street, which I had seen before as a kid because it played on a loop as a kid. The original movie, I finally watched this as an adult. Thought it was going to be more scary. It's almost like a comedy movie. Sorry about hitting the desk. I also watched a movie called Ma. I watched Barbarian, Prey, a movie that I really liked that I can't remember anything about, but the reviews are very positive for me as I'm looking at this, called My Heart Can't Beat Unless You Tell It To. I also watched the 1968 Night of the Living Dead. I'm not really into the horror genre. I don't watch horror movies all year. This is the only month, this is the only time of the year that I watch them, which makes this concept, this new customized tradition, all the more special. I know, okay, October is going to have a different feel to it, and the key here is to watch at least one horror movie every single day in the month of October. As you can tell, that's not 31 movies I just listed. I made it to 12. I do tend to get a little bit desensitized after day 8, and I'm thinking that this year maybe I will watch 2 movies a day for some of the days. My actual goal this year was to watch 100 movies in 1 year, which is not that difficult. I mean, you could watch 2 movies a week and you'd be at 104 movies. Of course, I didn't start until the end of April, so between April 27th and right now at the time recording this, which is the very beginning of October, I've watched, I think, 42 movies. I have reviewed all of them. I've documented all of them on my Letterboxd. Go over to Letterboxd. There is a link down below in the description. Subscribe to my Letterboxd channel. You'll get to see all of my reviews. You'll get to see what I'm watching. I think I have a pretty good concept of what's an enjoyable movie, what's a good movie, which movies I like. I can separate movies that are good from movies that I like, because there are good movies that I didn't really care about, and then at the same time there are not so many bad movies that I like. I'm not one of these people who watches movies that are bad and hate watches movies and it's so bad that it's good. We all have a finite amount of time on Earth. I'd like to say that I'm a great curator of the arts, and I try to watch good stuff, and hopefully I will inspire you to watch good stuff. I can tell you that we did watch our first horror movie of 2024, first horror movie of this holiday season, this new tradition, and the movie was Late Night with the Devil, a movie that came recommended to me, and I said, okay, let's kick it off with that. I did enjoy that movie. I thought it was a good movie. If you want to see not only my star rating for the movie, but if you also want to see my written review of the movie, guess where to find it? Over on my Letterboxd account. I don't know why I'm promoting this. I've kind of just been reviewing these movies for my own sake to see if I should go back and watch them with friends later or go back and watch them on my own. For anybody out there who celebrates Halloween in the traditional way, any little kids listening to this, don't overindulge in the candy. Be safe, trick or treat with an older kid or an adult. Also, watch your bags when you go to sleep, because your parents do sneak into your room and steal your candy. If there's that giant-sized Snickers bar Monday night and Tuesday morning when you wake up, it's gone. Don't look to the dog, look to mom. Her breath smells like chocolate. In any case, it has been your host, your friend, your boy, your pal, your mate, your partner in crime, your confidant, if you will, Arachnid Soul. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a very safe, enjoyable holiday season. I hope you have some good movies lined up, some scary movies lined up. If not, you know where to go. Check me out on Letterboxd. Not only have I been watching horror movies, I've been watching a lot of good stuff. Go see the few movies out of hundreds of movies that I've watched on there, the few movies that got 4 stars. The even fewer movies that got 4.5 stars, and I think there's 4 movies out of hundreds of movies I've watched that got the rare Arachnid Soul 5-star rating, and that's pretty much it. And I will catch you, my friend, later.